Okay, today we're going to be learning about slope-intercept form. And slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. M stands for slope. B stands for the y-intercept. And the x and the y are for your input and your output. So it says give an equation in slope-intercept form, so that's y equals mx plus b for the form that satisfies the given information. So crosses the y-axis, well that tells you that's your y-intercept, that's your b, and m is 1/2. So when I substitute those numbers in to slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, that tells me that y equals, my slope is negative 1/2 x minus 2. Number 2 says b equals 4 and m equals 1/3. So whenever I do that, I get y equals mx plus b, because that's slope-intercept form. My slope is 1/3, so y equals 1/3 x plus 4. Okay, number 3 says m equals 1/2, that's my slope, x-intercept equals 2, y-intercept equals negative 4. If I'm writing it in slope-intercept form, the only parts that I need are the slope and the y-intercept. So y equals, my slope is 1/2 times x minus 4. So just like in point slope form where we needed a place to put our x and our y for our input and output, we again have a place for an x and a y, for an input and an output. Okay? Alright, so what if they ask us to give the slope when they've already given us point slope form and ask where does each cross the y-axis? Well, we know that that is our y-intercept, which is also the b. So we have y equals 2/3 x minus 4. The first thing you have to do is make sure that it is in y equals, that y is all by itself, that it has been solved for y. So if I taught this is solved for y, so if I look at y equals mx plus b, my slope is the number in front of x. So my slope is 2/3. My y-intercept, or my b, notice the sign is positive in our formula, so our y-intercept is negative 4. If I wanted to write it as a coordinate pair, remember, a y-intercept is 0, negative 4. Okay, number 5, y equals 1/4 x plus 2. So notice that the y is by itself. It has already been solved for y. It is in slope-intercept form. So my slope is 1/4. My b is 2, so that tells me that my y-intercept is 0, 2. Alright, number 6, y equals negative 3x plus 1. That is already in slope-intercept form. So my slope is m, which is the number in front of x, which is negative 3. My y-intercept, or my b, is positive 1. So as a coordinate pair, that would be 0, 1. Alright, now, what if they ask you or give you a function and ask you, or an equation, and ask you to show the y-intercept and the slope and graph, okay? So when you look at number 7, y equals 1/3 x plus 1, we know that y is by itself, so this is in slope-intercept form, and my slope is 1/3, and my y-intercept is 1. My b is 1, so my y-intercept is 0, 1. So, just like yesterday, whenever we're graphing, we always start with a point, and then we use our slope, which is our rise over the run, to get 2 more points to graph that line, because we know that the slope is the pattern of the line. So, we start out and we plot 0, 1, and from there, I'm going to rise 1 and run 3. rise 1, run 3. And I can see from the pattern of my line that I have a positive line. I have a positive slope, so I know that I went the right direction. Remember that when you are graphing, you use a straight edge, and your line should go all the way across your grid with arrows on the end. Okay, number 8. Y equals 2x minus 4. It is already in slope-intercept form, so I know that my slope is 2, and my y-intercept, or my b, is negative 4. So as a coordinate pair, that's 0, negative 4. My slope, to make that 2 a fraction, we put it over 1. And remember that your slope is your rise over your run. So we start out at our point, 0, negative 4. We rise 2 and run 1. Rise 2, run 1. We had a positive slope. My line is going in a positive direction, so that's good. Quick way to check yourself. Draw your line using a straight edge. Your line must go all the way across your grid, and it must have arrows on the end because lines go on forever. All right, last one. Y equals 0x minus 3. Okay, it's in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Our y-intercept, our b is negative 3, so as a coordinate pair, that's 0, negative 3. My slope is the number in front of x, which is 0. Now, remember, a slope with 0 is a horizontal line. Should be showing me with your arms. So we plot 0, negative 3, and we draw our horizontal line using a straight edge all the way across the grid, arrows on the end. Okay, so remember, just like with point slope form, I hope you have noticed when we did point slope form, its name gave away the information that you needed. You needed a point and you needed slope. Any point and the slope of the line. With slope-intercept form, you need the slope and the y-intercept to substitute your numbers directly into the formula. Okay, so hence the name slope-intercept form, because you need slope and the y-intercept. Okay, now your assignment is to do the evens on the handout that you have.